Bear down, Bears fans. Tough season comes to an end. And unfortunately, the question on the table today, I can't believe we're here. Should the Chicago Bears look to retool or rebuild? Let's talk about it right after this. Now, if you are new to the channel, please like the video. Please subscribe to the page because we do talk Chicago sports weekly. We don't want you to miss a thing, so make sure that you hit that bell. So like I said, question on the table is, should the Chicago Bears retool or rebuild? And there's a major difference in that situation. And I think the Bears actually need a little bit of both. When you think about the rebuild point of view, to me, you're thinking about, okay, should the Bears essentially clean house? And I don't think from a talent on the field standpoint, you have to do that. I think that you absolutely have to, at a certain point, hold your talent accountable. But I think the Bears have more middle to right up under upper echelon NFL talent than they don't. You know what I'm saying? I think there's definitely some questions in there. You have to evaluate who was going through injury, who was just trying to push themselves through it. You have to evaluate. You have to go through all of that in the process when you're looking at the players on the field. But I think if you look at just the talent in the room, there's talent on this team. Darnell Mooney is a talent. Cole Kmet seems like he's got a talent. I know offensive line-wise, at least James Daniels is absolutely a talent. Many offensive linemen that I know have said that same thing to me. They're saying that he's going to be a 10-year stud at that position. David Montgomery is talent. You know what I'm saying? But there are those pieces you need to fix. But I don't think that I would rebuild or reshape the entire roster unless you plan on going down the route of, okay, we've been bad, we have to lose now and try to get in that Jacksonville position. But when you do that, almost in the NFL, it almost never works because you need so much. You need so much to work together. You need NFL talent. I forgot about Tariq Cohen too. He's a talent, and we know what talent we have over on the defensive side of the ball. But you need so much to be successful in the NFL. So from a personnel standpoint, I honestly wouldn't rebuild, because when you rebuild, that means you're trading Mack, you're trading Jackson, you're trading Fuller. Although Kyle Fuller was the bane of my existence yesterday, but okay, take it easy. Let's come back. You're trading Mack, you're trading Fuller, you know what I'm saying? You're probably getting your young talent out of there because that's what's going to get you the most back. And you're trying to rebuild it all. You know what I'm saying? And that puts you so far back at square one. Even if you were able to go out and say, okay, we've got the quarterback of our future. We finally got him. Now you either got nobody to throw it to, nobody to block for him. It causes too much of a process at the personnel level. But the reason I said I'm willing to do both is because I think further up, there's a rebuild on the way. Now, before I continue with the video, I want to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Should the Chicago Bears be looking to do more of a retool, or should we head right into a full-on rebuild? Let me know in the comments below. I'll be down there talking with you as well. Now, when you start going up the ladder, I think a full-on rebuild is in order. I look at the job that Matt Nagy has done, your offensive guru. I'm sorry. There's guys that fall out of bed in this league and put up 15 points. There's teams that fall out of bed in this league and put up 15 points. Matt Nagy, in one of the biggest showings of the year, put out an offense that gave you 3 points, whether it's him, whether it's Bill Lays, or whether whoever you think is calling the offense, whether you think Trubisky's the problem. Matt Nagy is the one who controls all of this. He put out an offense that gave you 3 points in a playoff game. That is completely unacceptable, especially for somebody who's supposed to have the moniker of offensive guru. But you got to go above that. You have to go above that. This is my thing. If you're gonna do this the right way, you have to change how you do things. Go find you a president of football. Go find you a president of football operations who can oversee this entire operation, the entire Bears organization, because right now, having Ted Phillips in that position, whether he's doing something or not, there's nobody to hold Ryan Pace accountable for the mistakes that he made, and that's how we've gotten in this position. And to me, that's the main guy. That's the main guy that needs to be packing his bags and getting out of here. Ryan Pace, I'm talking about. That is the main guy that needs to be getting up out of here. Because while he has found talent, especially in those later rounds, listen, Darnell Mooney, heck of a find, Eddie Goldman, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's able to find those guys. You've leveraged so much to go get the top guys that in some seasons you've set us back, and in others you've only made us good enough to be, what are we picking, 20th now? I think it came out last night after the game that we're picking 20th. And so to me, it's just like, how can we put you back in a position to be the leader of this team, to be the guy selecting the players for this team? How can we put you in a position to select a quarterback when you looked at Mike Glennon and said pay him? When you looked at Mitch Trubisky, said he's better than Deshaun and Mahomes. When you looked at Mike Glennon and said, yo, yeah, let's make him one of the highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL and get him in here. Well, I mean, how can we trust you to find the guy that's going to lead this franchise into the next generation? I don't. I think you need a complete organizational rebuild. Now, when it comes to Matt Nagy, listen, if you want to let him keep his job, let him keep it. I've said this before. Bring in the brain. Bring in the guy who's going to really be in charge. Bring in the guy who you can put in place and he can make a difference. And then you let him make that decision. Just like the Bulls did with Jim Boylan and AK, then you let him make that decision. All of a sudden, you're sitting down there, you come into the office one day and he's like, hey, Matt, listen, what the heck happened last season? Because that's not going to happen this season. And you might get an hour to explain it, or you're following Pace right out the door. I mean, honestly, bro, if I'm thinking about what we need to do as an organization, you got to start at the top down, and you let the guy at the top make all those then teetering decisions. So as wild as it is, I mean, do you want to call it a rebuild or retool? Because, I mean, in a rebuild, you might get a guy in there who wants to reshape the roster in his image, who might come in and actually want to do a full rebuild. I think that's a chance you got to take, and it's really about the direction you want to go. Now, we're going to have a couple videos in the offseason definitely talking about replacements for Ryan Pace, replacements for Matt Nagy, you know what I'm saying? Just replacements in general. So y'all stay in tune with us. I appreciate y'all for joining. I want to know your opinion, man. Let me know in the comments below. Should the Chicago Bears retool or rebuild? It's crazy that we're here, man, but we are here. I am going to get up out of here. It is your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again to continue watching our Chicago sports content. Click the links here or check the links in the description below. Another tough season comes to an end, Bears fans. But at the end of it all, we were Bears fans long before Matt Nagy got here. We'll be Bears fans long after Matt Nagy is gone. It is your boy, Pat the Designer, back at it again, man. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace.